Hi everyone, this is Molly with Scientology Recovery, and today I want to talk to you guys about therapeutic touch. Right now, we're all living through this pandemic, and people more than ever are starving for contact with other people. When we're babies, we're in the womb, we're surrounded by the amniotic fluid. Our whole body is encased with warm fluid and contact all around us. And then we come out into the world, and if we're lucky, our caregivers are giving us lots of therapeutic touch, lots of skin to skin contact for our proprioception to develop, for healthy brain development, for us to understand where we stop and somebody else starts, before our eyesight comes in fully. And all that contact when we're babies is really, really important for the health of our body and mind and for our development. As we grow older, we don't lose that need for contact with other people. It's just that depending on which culture you're born into, you may or may not get the amount of therapeutic touch that you need. So today I just want to offer some options for how to negotiate therapeutic touch with another person. And right now I'm not talking about professional therapeutic touch because obviously you would be setting an appointment with a professional practitioner for that. But right now, not everybody has access to a professional bodywork practitioner. And so it can be really important to, inquire into the people who you live with to find out what their comfort level is for negotiated therapeutic touch between family members or between friends. Sometimes it's just not enough to just be living under the same roof, right now together. And many people are living by themselves. And maybe if they're lucky, they have a cat or a dog, etc. So just to let you know, I have two dogs. I don't live with anybody else. So if you're living alone, my heart goes out to you. I totally understand that this is like a more challenging time, particularly for people who don't have a lot of contact with others or with anybody else in the home. So negotiating contact when you do have somebody in the home with you can be as simple as saying, hey, I would really like some contact right now. Could you give me some contact? And the person is free, as they have their own boundaries, to say, no, I want my own space right now. I don't feel like sharing contact. They can also say, sure, yeah, I think that would be great. Let's have some contact. What kind of contact would you like? And the person may say oh, well, I'm feeling really tender right now. I'm feeling upset about something going on. And if you could just put your hand on my back, that would feel really supportive to my nervous system. And then they can, negotiate further of just oh, okay, after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or an hour, are you good now? Yeah, I'm good. So it's just really good to have a language around which you can talk about therapeutic touch. And it's really important also to understand that everybody has their own boundaries, no matter how old they are. And so, if somebody is not open to therapeutic touch, then that boundary absolutely needs to be respected. Another thing is that therapeutic touch needs to be understood openly as a non-sexual form of touch. Often in our culture, we have, basically associated touch with sexuality. But sexuality really doesn't have anything to do, or touch is not intrinsically sexual. Sexuality is just really something that we have in our mind that's projected onto contact with other people or seeing other people in contact with each other, whether or not that circumstance is even sexual at all. So it's really important when you're negotiating contact with somebody else, for example, if you say, you look like you're upset right now, would you like some contact? And the person says, I don't know what you mean, what is contact? And you could say, well, it's non-sexual touch. And so then the person says oh, okay, yeah, would it be okay if you put your arm around me right now? Or, you can lay your ankle over my foot if we're sitting on the couch together or something. And that type of negotiation really helps people feel emotionally safe and physically safe in the presence of this person, and where this might be a new sort of contract that they're negotiating within the relationship. So this can happen between friends, It can happen, you know, between family members, etc. Just make sure that it's like 100% consensual and that it's really clear that there's no agenda for sexuality at all on the table. You know, if one person asks for contact with another person and says like, you know, I'm feeling kind of sensitive right now, like if I could just like sit next to you, like, you know, we don't need to you know, be in contact, but if I could just sit close to you, that would feel really secure for me. And then if the other person, like, you know, all of a sudden like their sexual energy comes online and they have some sort of agenda around the contact getting closer in that way, that person has like immediately crossed a boundary and like broken that contract. And so that's why it's really important for therapeutic touch to be understood as being non-sexual. Sexual touch is in a completely different compartment. That's a completely different agreement among adults, and is not anything close to what I'm talking about right now. So it's really important as people sort of emotionally mature to be able to distinguish between the needs of their body in terms of needing therapeutic touch or needing like sexual expression. And so when you need therapeutic touch in your life and you feel like you're starving for some sort of contact, and no matter how much screen time or you know, how much like media you consume, you're just like still mentally and emotionally feeling unhealthy, your body's probably screaming for some form of therapeutic contact, whether that's holding hands or somebody putting their arm around you, or getting like a professional therapeutic massage or something like that. So it's just really important to understand that therapeutic touch is a necessity for our healthy living as humans. It's part of what our human bodies need, whether or not our personality agrees with that or not. I know some people, you know, resist getting massages because they say they're really ticklish. Those people, they still are in human bodies. And if you have a human body and you're living on the planet right now during this pandemic, you're most likely starving for therapeutic touch and you just don't really know it. And so I really encourage everybody to, you know, share this video among family members, among friends, and just, you know, begin a dialogue about what type of contact might be supportive to each other. And also absolutely feel free to respond to that request with I don't want any contact, you know, no thank you. Because you may need therapeutic touch, but maybe you don't need it from or want it from the person who sent you this video, you know, or maybe you don't want it from a specific person because you just don't feel drawn to share affection in that way. It doesn't need to be like where you're gazing into each other's eyes. You know, you can like watch a movie together or something like that, or, you know, just have some quiet time or like have a discussion where instead of being 6 feet apart, you know, or 3 feet apart, it can be really nice to just like have somebody put, you know, their hand on your forearm, or, you know, hold hands for a few minutes, or have somebody put, you know, their hand on, you know, your back and stuff. So yeah, just please remember the needs of your body, that that it has a need for therapeutic touch. Just like when you were a little baby and you needed to be held by your mother, you know, your cells are still really in need of that type of support. And I really encourage everybody to do what they can to meet the needs of their body for their physical health and for their emotional health. So thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.